This is a demo of the FidusCheck One metal testing device. It's nice to finally start showing it after all the work and long nights, to be honest. It took a lot to get to this point. The device here is the latest unit I've been using for development. It's a bit battered, so don't worry, this is not the condition everyone will receive the devices in. This is a S-Layer 3D printed case, but the production test cases will be arriving soon, which are CNC aluminium, so I'll show them once they arrive. Looking forward to that. So, a quick look around the device. Got a full colour IPS screen and directional buttons. On one end you've got USB-C. Ignore the gap, again it's a development unit, it's been battered. On the other side you've got your magnetic connector for tips. Originally it was based on a 3.5mm TRRS jack. I was just a bit worried about data getting into the port and affecting readings and things, so I ended up going with a magnetic connector. You can just wipe it clean. This is one of the magnetic connectors, quite strong. On the back we've got two threads, so I'll include a pocket clip. I've put the two threads there just in case we have any future adapters or things what can mount onto it. And on the other side there's these two little windows. These are the high CRI white and 365nm UV LEDs, which are good for inspecting items, and the UV is good for fluorescence tests with gems. So onto the tips. We've got, oh, camera's trying to go off. We've got one of each tip here. So we've got the inductive tip. These are, again, dev units, so they're made to be opened and stuff. So I can keep testing. The final ones will be sealed. So we've got the inductive tips, resistive tip with gold-plated pogo pins, and there's another version of that I'm working on as well, and then we've got the gem testing tip. So let me just wake the device back up. There we go. Yeah, the device does go to sleep as well. It's got options for that. Every tip is made to be smart, so they all have their own internal circuit. The stored data about the tip, such as what the tip is, its hardware version, its unique ID, calibration data, and so on. So one example is if you have a jewellery shop, each member of the staff might have their own FidusCheck device. You don't need to keep the tip separate for each device to make sure the calibration is correct across tips and devices. Each device has its own calibration. Each tip also has its own calibration. So you can swap tips between devices while keeping calibration intact. Tips also have temperature sensors built into them, so you can account for differences in readings due to temperature changes. Another thing you can get from smart tips is auto detection. So one thing I'll note is these will snap a lot nicer on the final units. You won't need to press them on. Camera's trying to go off again. But what you'll notice is the eye at the top. So that's the inductive tip. These can only go one way as well. It won't let it go the other way. Resistive tip and the gem tip. So we can connect any tip and it'll detect it automatically. It'll only show you the tests for that tip. You can't get it wrong then. Right, onto the menus and user interface, I think. I'll cover this quickly because I think it needs its own video really for the rest of it. But from the top we have alerts. So this is notifications. I was thinking of maybe renaming it to notifications instead of alerts. Inside there, firmware updates are available, library updates, when it's time to recalibrate and so on. So yeah, there we go. So this tip has two alerts, so it'll be calibration and self-test. And you can go in that. There we go, self-test, calibration. Let's see if I've got a tip what's already... There we go, that one's already calibrated, so that doesn't show it. But yeah, that's your firmware updates, and So next is where you actually run the test from. So I'll come back to that in a minute. History is next. That's where you see the locally saved scans. So just briefly scan results. You can go into them, see information. We'll be adding more information over time. That's your history. Tips is just so you can manage the tip. So you need to connect the tip for it to. There we go. You can manage stuff about it. So that's tips. Next, lights. So I've got two lights on this. You can't really see that on the screen when it's selected. So we've got the white light. It's quite bright. Good for inspecting things. It is bleeding through the case here again because it's 3D printed. The aluminium case, it'll just be out of the lens. You've got the white light and you've got the 365 nanometer UV light for inspecting gems. Then you've got settings. Settings is for all the device settings. So you've got connectivity for Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, user interface settings for how stuff looks, text sizes and a bunch more. Settings for testing, sounds, so change the button press, the tone of the button press and other tones of the device. Lock and wake settings for when it'll sleep, how you wake it up, do you want a password on it to wake up the device if you want to lock the device down. Yeah, all that kind of stuff. There's a bunch of stuff in there. I'll go over that again on another video. Next is your power menu. Again, general stuff, sleep, reboot, stuff like that. Right. So next, back to the test menu. So this is where you'll do all your actual testing of items. So inside there you've got, so let me try zoom in a little bit, and there we go. We've got quick test and we've got library. Quick tests are your standalone tests for each tape. I'll go over that in another video as well. It deserves its own video. And then you've got library. So in library, these are the library items you can download from the FidusCheck account and the platform. You can sync them to the device. It's worth turning auto sync on so it does it itself. When you download new ones, they'll appear here and you can do all the tests needed. Let's go into this. Each library item, so each library item, you've got a list of them there. As a subset of test profiles, pretty much. So test. Oh, I need to add a tip. So for example, I've got a half sovereign here that I received yesterday from Gary Shaw, and I've got a pretty good fake as well, fake half sovereign to test against it. Oh, by the way, if you have any fake items, coins, bullion, and you're getting rid of them, let me know, as we use them for demos like this to help improve tests against fakes. Anyways, we've selected the, let's go, oh, there we go. So I've selected the half sovereign library. We've got bear and capsule. So bear is your bear coins. And stuff like this, where they're in little thin cases like this, I'd class them as bear still. So if we go on bear, this is where you get a list of different tests that are available for the item, and it'll only let you test using the tip what's connected. So as we can see at the top, that one's right at the top, it's ready to test. All of the ones will be grayed out, so you can't do anything with them. So yeah, it only lets you do the tip you're testing with. So let's test coins quickly. I'll just zoom out, try and get it all in frame so you can see everything. So we click on the test available. It brings you to this screen. So in the middle you've got your bar. Green on the end is good. Obviously red is bad. And as a feature I'll show you in a sec. So let's test these coins quickly. So We'll start with the rail sovereign first. We'll just trying to make sure it's all in camera screen while keeping it still. So if you press start, it'll start the test, but notice if you move, it detects it. Stay still, let the test complete. There we go. So that's the stillness detection in play there as well. Device warns you that you're moving too much. What it'll do, it'll just restart the test, keep resetting the test until it's more stable, and that way, well, you get the best results. So it gave the result in green, so that's good. Now we can confirm it, so press right to confirm, and that takes us back to the result page. So again, let's see if I try, there we go. If I just scroll to the other one, you can see on the end of the inductive medium test, you can see pass. The idea here is to complete one test, switch tip, do another test, and as many as you need to do. Finish all your tests, and then you can go to the end. And this is finish testing. And that gives you an overall result of all the tests. It gives you a confidence score. But we don't want to do that yet. We want to test the other coin as well. So we'll go back to the top. Right. So, screen's gone off on my camera, one sec. There we go. Yep, select test, start. There we go. It's in the red. So I confirm that. Actually, just so we got some good results. We'll do the real one again. Try and keep it still. Trying to keep it all in frame. There we go. So we don't want to do the test again. We've got the pass result. We can go to finish testing. So now we've got our result. We can press next. And what this does, you can save it to the account and the device, or just the device. You can discard it. So if you do save it to your FidusCheck account, that lets you share the results with people or in sales posts on Facebook. If you're selling some sovereigns on Facebook, you can put a link to your scan result, proves that it's real, shows results instead of saying tested and real. Attach them to marketplace items if you're putting them on eBay, things like that. And you also get a unique scan code displayed on the screen as well. And this is a one-time code. It's only displayed once on the screen. And the idea behind that is have your item, and instead of name and date photos, you have your item, you have the FidusCheck device, and if I save that to device, you get the code on screen. So what this does is give you third-party profile with your reviews, your scan codes linked to that account. So what you would just do is take a photo of the item with the device showing the code on screen, and people can search for the scan code on the FidusCheck scan part of the platform and find the results. And the account link to it, which shows the seller's ratings and reviews too. So yeah, that's the device so far. We're just finishing setting up the production, manufacturing, and working towards getting all the certifications done, which is always fun. Pre-orders are still open if anyone else wants a device, and they're discounted as well compared to RRP for now until pre-orders finish. And you get a few extra items free as part of the pre-orders, like the ferrite testing map. Anyone who creates an account and signs up on the website as well is automatically entered into win 1 of 10 FidusCheck devices. But anyways, thank you for watching. I expect to do fairly regular updates as we get closer to production. Most updates will be on the FidusCheck Facebook page, but I will still post the main ones on the groups as well. So yeah, thanks guys.